So I thought I'd do a little follow-up on the Glinner case. Who, yeah, there's when I uploaded the video, there's one or two people that are saying still don't trust him, all this stuff. He's obviously done something to annoy people, but it's like I keep saying, you're not going to be able to please all the people all of the time. It's just a fact, right? Well, he's up in court. Allegedly, he was saying it was for some tweets that he did, but now it's turned into this sort of back and forth with this Sophie one, this one here that you see in front of you. A few people have dug up a few old videos of him, this man that dresses like a woman. So here he is harassing people at a... No, not that one. Not that one, sorry. This one. So this meeting here is like a... Let me just pause this. Why won't that pause? Right, I can't pause it when it's on the big screen for some reason. But here he is harassing people at the Battle of Ideas conference in London in 2024. It was after this meeting here, which Mr. Linehan was present. They were talking about like having male and female sports and things like this, and saying how unfair it was and how wrong it is and stuff like this. But this guy, that is this Sophia Brookes, right? Stephen Brookes, let's call him, because it is a man, does this at the conference that they had, that the people had.
Women tend to avoid the behaviours that might put us at risk. Things that men do, like being in gangs, getting into fights, walking or running late at night, telling complete strangers when they tell you to smile to just do one. These are all things women tend to avoid because we do not want to provoke someone who's likely to be able to win in a fight with us. But we're still at risk. And just to be clear, for every reported male victim of rape, there are at least 10 female reports of rape. So, you know, the ratio is, the data are there as showing that. So,
and I'd just like to throw in here now how you see all these people that are at this meeting, how they're nice and calm and everything. Whereas if you go as a person who's shown concern about males in female sports, if you go up to their side, they just start screaming and hollering and everything because they can't have a debate on it. They just want to legalise males in dresses or males in female sports battering women and beating up women, because they love that sort of stuff. Like, they've sort of got the same mentality as all these pan-Arab Arabs that they want to bring into the Western country. You see, they want to batter women. They want women as slaves, you know, which is this man going around pretending he's a woman. But see the way he's getting in people, he's putting his phone in people's faces. Right, I'm going to share you. And now I know we do say when you're at the marches and stuff to film the other side now and again, just to see what types are there. But you don't go around putting your phone in. Like, look how he is going around putting his phone in people's faces, thinking that he's going to shame them, huh?
We have to remember this because it's one reason why we have single-sex spaces as standard across society and indeed across the world. Anywhere where strangers mix, it's a good, sensible thing, and that was never contested. And yes, it's for privacy and dignity, not just safety. And men also value those things, and typically, for example, don't want a man walking in, don't want women walking in on them when they're having a pee. You know, those gender neutral with urinals that nobody was asking for. But you understand that for women and girls, it's even more important. And somehow that fundamental understanding.
Now, another important interaction here. So, let's flip it. Let's flip the switches here for a second. Let's say that this is a pro-LGBT conference, right? Let's just flip it here. And someone who doesn't agree with what's happening in the conference goes around and starts putting their phone in people's faces. How do you think the security guards would react to that person? I'll tell you how they'd react. They'd pick him up by the arms and the legs and they'd fuck him out. But because this individual is one of these protected species, protected by the media, protected by the government, look how they react to him. Look how polite and nice they are with him, even showing their security badges. Where if it was the other way, they'd hide their badges.
Standing is being eroded now because of some men's feelings. This is terrifying to me.
Because of your disruption, we're removing you from
I
the
didn't
festival.
realise.
I'm just a volunteer lead. No one's special.
Before we even gain
Come on, say.
exactly as Joe said, we're losing territory on multiple fronts. And in effect, we're being asked to make the case all over again for why we need single-sex provision. Even in sport, we're expected to negotiate over.
Now look, even as he's going out, even as the man is going out, watch him. He puts his phone in all of these people's faces.
How much we can get back. So, to compromise.
So, knowing that, where's the follow-up? Here he is harassing, or sort of, he's circling Posey Parker as if like in a threatening way. But this is where the Tarquin quote came from. Have a look at this. If you look in the background, you'll see him come from here and walk around that way, and Posey spots him.
Getting candidates first. Can I just ask, where is the police officer?
And she's right, because you see him carrying. Where is it? Let me see if I can catch it. See what he's carrying there? God knows what's in that. And we've seen the left and the NGOs and all them types. We've seen them throw hot coffee over people and still not get prosecuted. So she's right to be like, hang on, this fucker's walking around with a hot cup of coffee close to me. Where's the police that's supposed to be assigned to us to protect us? But of course, we all know the police are in on it with them as well. But she's right, isn't she? Look at him circling. He's like trying to pin her in or something,
Candidates first. Can I just ask, where is the police officer? Can we leave that man alone? He just wants attention. Yeah, I do. And that's why I'm in the middle of this circle and you're on the outside, Tarquin. Fuck off.
I like Posey. I do listen to some of her lives. She's good common sense head in her. So, the next stage, obviously, they're from whenever. They're from a few years back. So here's this Sophie Brookes who's pressing charges against Linehan. Trans activist Sophia Brookes, Stephen Brookes, walks out of the court in London, and a large group of masked trans militants using banners and umbrellas to block the media. One cameraman was assaulted. The radicals repeatedly made physical contact with me and blocked my path. So here they are. Here's the trans people sort of protecting Stephen. Look. Notice that a good majority of them are still wearing COVID masks. Right, this is another thing. It sort of emboldened them. The whole COVID thing sort of emboldened them to be able to hide themselves. And then like, if you go up and say, why are you wearing a mask? COVID. Of course, it's for COVID. No. You're doing it because you actually feel shame in what you're doing. So you're trying to hide. That's what that is.
Sophia, how do you feel today went for you? Don't touch me. Stop touching me. Today, tomorrow. How did today go for you, Sophia? No statements today. Respect it. Go away.
See this one here? This one's a convicted paedophile. So they have a convicted paedophile out there acting like private security for a man who likes to dress as a woman who's trying to prosecute Graham Linehan.
Oi!
Tomorrow you can take pictures, but not today. It's a very volatile situation. Shut up.
Sorry.
Where are you trying to get to, guys? You walking into a
We're going towards it.
Don't touch me. Stop touching.
Oh, I was assaulted. I was definitely assaulted. I'm not harassing no one.
So that police officer just said, "You're harassing him." Now, if you're harassing someone, shouldn't he be arrested? Like if she's stating that he's harassing someone is illegal, isn't it? Shouldn't he be arrested? But I don't think he does get arrested.
I'm not harassing no one.
You are.
I'm not harassing no one.
Move back. You're not pushing. Stay there.
I'm not assaulting no one. I'm not harassing no one.
You're running up to him multiple times.
Yeah, Sir, if you can step back, please. Give me and my colleagues a bit of room to work. Thank you very much. Sir, could you please get that out of my colleagues' faces, please?
So you see the way the policeman there, he tells the guy that we're looking through, right? He tells him, but could you step back and let my colleagues and I do our work? Then he also shifts to one of their side and says the same to him. But personally, the police are on their side. The police are on their side because they're the ones who act 10 times more aggressively towards us when we try question these people. Like how you seen in the previous video where this Stephen Brookes was at an event that was held by I forget the name, but go back and look at the start of it. And he was in that, and the security was like real calm with him and everything. And I told you, if that was one of us in there putting our phone in their faces, they'd lift us out of it. They'd probably even arrest us and charge us with harassment for doing that. But you see, they don't with that side because they're all in it together. They're all in it together. People looking at this go, "Oh no, the policeman's being fair. Look, he's telling the guy with the camera to step back, and then he's telling one of their guys to calm down and step back and let the police do their work." But don't be fooled by it. The police are with LGBT. Sure, why would they decorate their cars with a rainbow flag if they're not on the side of LGBT? You know? Why would they go to pride marches and dance around with them all provocatively with them if they weren't on their side? You know, these police, they're not fooling me, I can tell you that. That one there is this man here is a convicted paedophile.
You were told tomorrow.
Told tomorrow.
And see his fingers. Look at his fingers, he's doing that. I noticed that a lot of them do this with two fingers. Do you know, it's kind of like the Satanists use it. You know where they put the two fingers up? He's constantly doing it, like it's some sort of stress relief for him. See it? Right there. He constantly walks around doing that.
I'm in your face.
Get some dignity.
Have some dignity. As a man walking around dressed as a woman, have some dignity, he tells the woman. Someone said it there, why are you wearing masks? And I told you they wear masks because they're ashamed of what they're doing. Like, they're trying their best to hide. Some of them don't give a fuck. Like, some of them are just open. Like that one there, that one that's a convicted paedophile. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. He knows that the police are on his side with him every time, and everything's going to be grand for him. But the other ones, you know, it's probably a thing where if they were caught on tape at one of these, that their family would start asking questions like, why are you out there defending him? Why are you out there defending that man in the dress? So they're hiding their identity because they don't want family members or friends saying something to them or questioning them. It's a shame.
Excuse me.
Like, I don't know what this chap's about. What's that supposed to do? What's that supposed to do? So that was the follow-up video. That's the one there. It's up here somewhere. It is. That's the one that's wanting to get Graham Glinner charged. See how it changed up, how it shifted. Like, the real reason, and it was probably reserved for this moment, by the way. The real reason an incident happened with Graham Linehan and this Stephen Brookes, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where Stephen Brookes, he crashed that event. It was that event, actually it was last year, 2024. It was outside that event where the incident took place, where Stephen Brookes put the phone in Graham Linehan's face and said, why are you saying that children are domestic terrorists? You know, see, that's them putting the spin on it, as if trying to make Graham look bad. You know, he's equating Graham highlighting that children shouldn't be given puberty blockers. Children shouldn't be told that if a man says he's a woman, then he's a woman, or if a woman says she's a man, then it's a man. But what Stephen done is he took that and spint it, threw in the word domestic terrorists, and said that Graham is saying that all trans children are domestic terrorists, when that's a lie. Like, he never said that. He never said that. So this is the actions of LGBT right here. I don't know, like, what they're thinking they're doing. Like, all they really are doing is empowering this Stephen. Oh, by the way, I was saying they probably reserved that incident with this bloke Stephen Brookes and Graham Linehan until now, because when Graham Linehan came back from the US, he did the Joe Rogan show, or as some people say, the Joe Rogan show. And when he got back to the UK, he got arrested by 5 police, and it caused him like a lot of stress, and he had to go to the hospital because of his blood pressure and all this stuff. He's not a young man, Mr. Linehan. He's not a young man. He's a good man, but he's not a young man. So that's why I'm thinking they reserved the case being brought. So what they did was, all right, it's spreading too quick that Linehan got arrested for some mean tweets. What else have we got on him? Oh yeah, that incident with Stephen Brookes. Bring that up. Mention, quick, talk about that's why he got arrested, because he was meant to be brought up in court because Stephen Brookes was pressing charges against him. Do you see what I mean? You see what I mean? There's so many layers in all of this. There has to be, because it goes against natural law. So if they're trying to push something that goes against natural law, then they're going to have to pump as much propaganda out about it as possible, you know, to keep all these living in fairyland. They ultimately want to push us towards a socialist system. These people having 70 to 80% of the country reliant on the government. That's their end goal with these freaks. Like I say, they get many uses out of every crisis.